Have you ever felt trapped in a situation that others insist is for your own good, even when your heart tells you otherwise? For many seniors, a nursing home placement after a health setback can feel exactly like that. A well-intentioned prison that slowly strips away your independence, dignity, and even your will to live. What most people don't realize is that many elderly individuals are placed in nursing homes prematurely, often after a hospitalization when they're at their most vulnerable. The truth is, with the right approach and determination, many seniors can regain their independence and live fulfilling lives outside institutional care. In this video, I'll share 6 crucial strategies I used to escape my nursing home at 79 years old, rebuild my strength, and reclaim my life, defying what doctors and even my own family thought possible. Some of these approaches might surprise you, and others might challenge what you've been told about aging and recovery. Stay with me until the end, because the last strategy is something few people consider. Yet, it made all the difference in transforming my life after I thought all hope was lost. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you enjoy this video, please type 1 in the comments. If you don't like it, type 0 so I can make better videos for you. And if you know someone who might need this information, please send them this video. It could really help. Now let's get started. Number 1. Recognize the institutional cycle that keeps you dependent. One of the most shocking revelations after entering a nursing home was discovering how quickly the environment itself can accelerate decline. What many people don't understand is that nursing homes, despite good intentions, often create systems that foster dependence rather than recovery. When I first arrived, still weak from pneumonia, the staff did everything for me, helping me dress, bringing meals on their schedule, even making decisions about my daily routine. Within weeks, I noticed my muscles weakening further. Simple tasks I could do before, like standing up unassisted or walking to the bathroom, became more difficult, not because my condition was worsening, but because I wasn't using these abilities. This phenomenon is called learned helplessness, and it happens when people are consistently prevented from doing things for themselves. The first step in my journey to freedom was recognizing this cycle. I started by identifying activities the staff automatically did for me that I could potentially manage myself. Instead of letting them dress me completely, I asked to do the buttons myself. Rather than being wheeled to activities, I requested to walk part of the way with supervision. These small assertions were often met with resistance. "It's faster if we help you," or "We don't want you to fall," but I gently insisted. By documenting my own progress on a calendar, I created evidence of my improving capabilities that would later prove crucial in my discharge plan. This daily record-keeping became my first act of reclaiming control over my narrative. If you or someone you love is in a nursing home, the first step toward potential independence is identifying these subtle forms of enforced dependence and beginning to push back with small, safe assertions of capability. Don't wait for permission to try. Start by requesting opportunities to practice independence, even in seemingly insignificant ways. Number 2. Build a strategic physical recovery plan beyond facility offerings. When I first expressed my desire to return home, the physical therapist at my nursing home told me something I'll never forget. "At your age, we focus on maintenance, not improvement." This mindset, I soon discovered, was part of the problem. The standard physical therapy offered in many nursing homes is designed to maintain current abilities, not to rebuild strength or increase function. For someone determined to leave, this approach simply isn't enough. Instead of accepting this limited vision, I created my own supplemental exercise program. I started with simple bed exercises when no one was watching, lifting my legs, doing modified push-ups against the wall, and practicing standing up from my chair repeatedly while holding onto my bed rail. These weren't extraordinary activities, but they were consistent, and I gradually increased the repetitions. What made the difference wasn't having special equipment or even professional guidance. It was the intentionality and frequency. While the facility's therapy might offer 30 minutes 3 times a week, I was exercising in small bursts throughout the day, every day. Studies have shown that this approach, sometimes called exercise snacking, can be particularly effective for older adults rebuilding strength. I also focused specifically on functional movements, the exact actions I would need to live independently. Practicing getting in and out of bed safely, carrying small items while walking, and standing long enough to prepare a simple meal became my priorities. Each of these activities was chosen with a specific purpose, proving I could safely perform the essential tasks of independent living. The key insight here is that institutional therapy programs, while valuable, are rarely intensive enough for someone aiming for a full return to independence. Creating your own supplementary program focused on frequent, functional movements rather than abstract exercises can accelerate recovery beyond what the system expects possible for someone in their 70s or 80s. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3. Understand and assert your legal rights to discharge. One of the most startling aspects of my nursing home experience was discovering how few residents understood their legal rights regarding discharge. Many assume that once placed in a facility, especially if family members or doctors recommended it, they have little say in when or if they can leave. This misconception keeps countless seniors institutionalized longer than necessary. The truth is that most nursing home residents have significant legal rights regarding discharge, even if they're receiving Medicare or Medicaid funding. Under federal regulations, nursing homes must help residents attain their highest practicable physical, mental, and psychosocial well-being, which includes supporting discharge if the resident can function safely in a less restrictive environment. In my case, I began by formally requesting my care plan and discharge requirements in writing. This simple act shifted the dynamic. Suddenly, the criteria for my discharge were no longer vague suggestions, but documented goals I could systematically address. The facility was legally required to provide this information, though they initially seemed reluctant. I discovered that even as a 79-year-old, I had the right to participate in care planning meetings, to request modifications to my care plan, and to appeal decisions I disagreed with. When resistance arose, I calmly referenced the Nursing Home Reform Act provisions that protected these rights. Knowledge became power. For those without formal guardianship arrangements, the law generally recognizes that adults have the right to make their own decisions, even decisions others might view as unwise. I made it clear that while I appreciated everyone's concern, I was a competent adult, legally entitled to live with a certain degree of risk, as we all do. If you're in a nursing home or have a loved one who wishes to be discharged, the first step is to request the written criteria for discharge and then methodically work to meet each requirement. Document progress, request formal reassessments, and if necessary, seek outside opinions from independent medical professionals to support your case. Number 4. Create a viable home safety plan that addresses institutional concerns. When I first mentioned leaving the nursing home, the social worker's immediate response was to list all the reasons my home would be unsafe: stairs I couldn't manage, the risk of falls with no one to help, medication management concerns, and difficulty preparing meals. Rather than arguing, I recognized these as legitimate concerns that needed concrete solutions. What many seniors don't realize is that discharge often hinges not on proving perfect health, but on demonstrating that you've developed workable solutions to specific safety concerns. The key is creating a detailed plan that addresses each concern directly rather than dismissing them. For the stairs issue, I arranged to have a bedroom set up on the main floor of my home, eliminating the need to navigate stairs daily. For fall prevention, I worked with my daughter to remove throw rugs, install grab bars in the bathroom, and create clear pathways throughout the house. We took photos and videos of these modifications to show the discharge planner. To address concerns about medication management, I researched and purchased an automated medication dispenser with programmable reminders and lockable compartments. For meal preparation, I arranged for meal delivery 3 times a week and stocked easy-to-prepare, nutritious options for other days. I created a written emergency plan with contact numbers prominently displayed and arranged for a medical alert system with fall detection. The most effective approach was presenting this not as an argument, but as a collaborative solution. Rather than saying, "I'll be fine," I acknowledged each concern and offered a specific mitigation strategy. This shifted the conversation from whether I could leave to how we could make leaving work safely. Robert, an 82-year-old I met during my stay, tried a different approach. He simply insisted he would be fine and dismissed the facility's concerns. His discharge was denied multiple times, while my methodical plan addressing each safety issue eventually succeeded. The difference wasn't our capability, but our strategy in addressing institutional objections. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5. Build a community support network beyond family. One of the biggest obstacles to discharge from a nursing home is demonstrating that you'll have adequate support after leaving. Many seniors make the mistake of relying solely on family promises of help, which discharge planners often view skeptically, knowing how quickly family caregivers can become overwhelmed. Instead of depending exclusively on my daughter's assurances, I built a more comprehensive support network that impressed the discharge team with its thoroughness and sustainability. This approach not only facilitated my release, but created a more robust system than family alone could provide. I started by connecting with my local area agency on aging, which helped me identify services I didn't know existed, from transportation assistance to home-delivered meals to homemaker services that could help with light cleaning and laundry. Rather than asking my family to drive me to appointments, I registered for the senior transportation program and scheduled a demonstration ride while still in the facility to prove its viability. I also reconnected with my faith community, which had a volunteer program that provided regular visitors and help with errands. By arranging for scheduled check-ins from different sources, a neighbor each morning, a church volunteer each afternoon, and my daughter in the evenings, I created a care schedule that addressed the facility's concern about prolonged periods alone. What particularly impressed the discharge planner was my research into technology solutions. I arranged for a smart home system that could detect unusual patterns in movement and alert my contacts if I didn't follow my normal routine. These technological safeguards, combined with human connection, created a safety net that the facility found compelling. Eleanor, 83, had been trying to leave her nursing home for months with no success, despite having a devoted son willing to help. When she expanded her support network beyond family to include community resources, technology, and a diverse group of helpers, her discharge was approved within weeks. The difference wasn't the amount of support, but its sustainability and diversity. If you're working toward nursing home discharge, start building your community network early. Contact your local area agency on aging, religious organizations, senior centers, and volunteer groups. The goal is to create a support system that doesn't place excessive burden on any one person, making it more credible to discharge planners and more sustainable for your long-term independence. Number 6. Reclaim your identity and purpose beyond survival. The most profound aspect of my journey wasn't physical at all. It was psychological. During my months in the nursing home, I noticed how quickly residents, including myself, began to shrink into a patient identity, with conversations centering only on medications, ailments, and basic needs. To truly escape and thrive afterward, I needed to reconnect with who I was beyond my medical conditions. This identity reclamation began small. I started bringing up past interests in conversations, sharing stories about my career as a teacher rather than just discussing my health. I requested books related to my hobbies and began making plans not just for leaving, but for what I would do afterward. This shift from focusing solely on escape to envisioning a meaningful life thereafter transformed how others saw me and, more importantly, how I saw myself. What many don't realize is that nursing homes often unintentionally reduce people to their care needs, and residents begin to internalize this limited view. Breaking free means actively remembering and reasserting your identity beyond being a patient. This psychological shift is as crucial as physical recovery, yet rarely discussed in discharge planning. I created a simple one-page document titled, "Who I Am Beyond My Medical Chart," that included my professional background, key relationships, interests, values, and goals. I asked for this to be included in my file and referenced it in care meetings. This small act shifted perceptions dramatically. Suddenly, staff saw me as a complete person with a life worth returning to, not just a collection of care needs. Most powerfully, I began planning a specific project to pursue after discharge, volunteering at the local elementary school's reading program. Having this clear purpose provided motivation during difficult physical therapy sessions and gave discharge planners confidence that I had a reason to maintain my health beyond just survival. When facility staff would ask, "But what will you do all day?" a common question implying older adults have no purpose beyond being cared for, I had specific, meaningful answers. This vision of a purposeful future became the emotional fuel that sustained my determination through setbacks and challenges. If you or someone you love is in a nursing home, don't underestimate the power of reclaiming identity and purpose. Bring in photos, discuss future plans, talk about interests beyond health, and most importantly, reject the reduced identity of simply being a patient. Your life has meaning beyond survival, and connecting with that meaning is often the most powerful motivation for recovery. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on these 6 crucial strategies that enabled me to leave my nursing home at 79 and rebuild a fulfilling independent life. Recognizing institutional cycles of dependence, creating a strategic physical recovery plan, understanding and asserting legal rights, developing a comprehensive home safety plan, building a diverse community support network, and reclaiming identity and purpose beyond patient status. Each of these approaches addresses a different aspect of the challenge: physical, legal, practical, social, and psychological. Together, they create a powerful framework for reclaiming independence that goes beyond simply arguing, "I want to go home." They provide a systematic path to addressing legitimate concerns while asserting your fundamental right to self-determination. What's most important to understand is that nursing home placement doesn't have to be permanent for many seniors. The system often defaults to institutional care, not because it's the only option, but because it's the most straightforward one. Challenging this default requires determination, strategy, and support, but it's possible at virtually any age. Since leaving the nursing home 4 years ago, I've not only maintained my independence, but thrived. My blood pressure has normalized. I've regained strength I thought was permanently lost. And most importantly, my sense of purpose and joy has returned. The contrast between my life now and my decline in the facility is evidence that environment often matters as much as medical care. If you're currently in a nursing home or have a loved one who wishes to leave, I hope these strategies provide a practical roadmap. Remember that the journey requires patience, persistence, and planning, but the reward of reclaimed independence is worth every effort. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. And most importantly, please consider sending this video to someone who might need to hear it. Your action could truly help someone today. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.